Hi, Noor. Good morning. Uh, we'll wait for some time, like 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Let others join and we'll start. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think we should get started. Let me know once you see my screen, okay? I'm sharing my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, it is showing.
Yes.
Okay, 1 second. Let's go to. Okay, I'll just close this. This one I was showing yesterday, right? We'll take a new Tableau. Okay, close this. This is our workbook. Okay, so we'll start fresh. I mean, not taking anything from yesterday itself, right? So let's go to data source. Yeah. So now Tableau, when you open Tableau, okay, we'll show it to how to download and stuff. Okay. So to download, you need to go to this Tableau, not the public one, Tableau desktop. Okay. Go here, and what you have to do is you have to start free trial. Okay. Because you might not have the paid version or the product key, right? Because for that you'll have to pay for that, and the pricing is slightly in a higher side. Okay, so you just normally the way you start a free trial, it will be a 14-day trial, and then you can, once this 14-day ends, you can another again use any other email ID and then again start over. Okay, so when you download free trial, you have to give these information and click on download, then install it. Installation process is also very normal. It's very similar to uh, the normal applications, right now that is functioning in this technological world landscape. Okay, so normally like install, click, save and finish. Okay, do you want me to install and see, because I already have it?
No, Akash. So they want a company email ID here.
Yeah, you can give your company email ID. Okay.
Okay, but for the next time of installation, like
Mm-hmm.
we already only have one email ID.
All right, 1 second. Let me see if this takes. I'll give my previous organization.
So do they send a product key on the email ID for this trial license?
No, trial will not have any product key. It will just be embedded into it. You will not get a separate what do you say, product key, right?
Okay. So only the exe file will be downloaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you can do is I mean slightly unethical, but let's say in your company somebody has some product key, right? You can use that in here, but slightly unethical. I'm a bit hesitant about it, but you can, you know,
Okay.
do something. That's what I mean to say.
Yes, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so once you have installed it, and that is desktop, okay, and the desktop version, if you see, 1 second, if you see here, 23.3 available now, right? So download this because the more you practice in the latest version, it will be good for you. And later, let's say you have this expired, right? What you can do is you can always practice on Tableau public, right? Like the way I said yesterday, we have this Tableau public. This is Tableau prep. This we have Tableau public, right? At least you will be in touch. You will not forget things. Whatever we'll discuss, you can do in this. This is always free, so you can go to this create wish, okay, and then you can create visualization. You can do anything that you want to, not as fancy or as usable like desktop, but slightly like at least 50% or 60% of the tasks you will be able to do it on Tableau Public. Obviously, Tableau Desktop has a lot of functionality, but Tableau at least you will be in touch. So that's the thing. Earlier they had at least 1 month of trial. They have reduced it, and I think they will reduce even more maybe in future. Okay, I hope this is clear, right? Now, when you open Tableau, right, you will land on this page. This is the first page that you see. Okay, you can see this in you can take a tour, or you can. This is a self-help group of Tableau. You can what you can say. You can take initial help, like how to connect, and they have Tableau has a good community presence, by the way. So what I mean by Tableau community presence means a lot of developers in Tableau, I mean, who are Tableau developers, often they post basically on the platform, on the community forum, their doubts, their questions, their new explorations, and then people get to know and people answer their questions. It's the same way for coding, right? Uh, there are forums, there are self-help groups, and that's how the community helps people, helps the developers, and get things done, right? So that is also a very important factor. So Tableau has like, Tableau community. Okay. So one second, yeah. You can ask a question, you can search a question like how do I, it has a very good community questions. See, we have more than 250,000 questions and over 650 user groups boards right now, right? So it is in tremendous and very useful groups, and you can they have different groups for different products itself, right? So that's what I wanted to touch upon. This is very, very important. So this is the connection. This is the page you land upon. Okay. Now, as yesterday I told, we have data layer. Uh, Basically, I'm talking about this example, this diagram, data layer and Tableau desktop, right? So we have Tableau desktop now. Now what we need? We need data, right? Right? We need data and a connector which will connect to Tableau, correct? How we will connect? So you can say that data is another box or another source, and we need a pipe which will connect to Tableau, right? A socket or a connection or a wire which will connect to Tableau desktop, and the data will be transferred. That pipe or that wire is called as connectors. Okay, so far so good. Can I get a yes or no, please?
Sorry, what is this called?
Right. So connectors basically, let me see. Let me draw this. Okay. Oh, so you have data, which is data sitting in any sitting in any type of software, right? Software slash databases slash data warehouses. Okay, right? Any type of software, databases, or warehouses. Now you need to visualize the data, right? So you have Tableau desktop also. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, you need to visualize. Then you have Tableau desktop also, right? But the point here is, how will you connect your data with Tableau desktop? Because once the data starts flowing, then only you will visualize something, right? Or you'll perform some analysis or something like that. Correct? Now, we have something called as a wire, or we know that, we can connect two devices or two softwares, or, you know, um two entities with some wires, like virtual wire or actual wire, right? Let's say you have a bulb,
Right.
electric bulb, right? You connect it with a switch through a physical wire. Now this data entity, this warehouse, this database is connected to W desktop with a virtual wire, which is called as connectors. Okay, or to be very precise, data connectors. Okay, and remember when we were saying talking about this integration, huge integration capability. So that's what I meant. Now, where were I? Right here, data connectors. Now there are and so many data connectors, like around 250 plus data connectors available in Tableau, right? Why 250 plus? Plus data connectors in Tableau. Okay, here your data can be sitting in AWS, Azure, or SQL Server, MySQL, right? MongoDB, Teradata, and other softwares, correct? Or RDBMS or NoSQL uh, entities, okay? Right? Any type of uh, databases can be there. So not every software can be connected to a single connector, right? Through a single connector, correct? So we have different connectors for different databases or warehouses or softwares. Is that understandable, or do you have any problem here? I mean, problem as in, is it clear now?
It's clear now.
Yes, Akash.
Okay. Because see, the primary focus is also the interview as per se, right? So these are the questions that you will get. So what are connectors, right? These kind of questions. Explain with an example. How can say any there is there any only one connector available and through which we can connect? So the answer is no. There are n number of other connectors, right, which we can connect, right? Shall I move ahead if it's okay?
So Akash, once we connect, let's say with a data being existing on the AWS server,
Mm-hmm.
so does the data continues to be stay there, or it comes onto like our desktop or Tableau, like how it happens?
Yeah, yeah. So the point here is, see, that you're saying is the next step, the connection, right? Right now we are just seeing. I mean, very valid question and very nice question actually. We are just understanding what is data connectors,
Okay.
how we are connecting, through what we are connecting, right? We will see that now. So that brings to your question actually now, right? So we understood what is connectors. Now we want to connect and see how things work. That's what actually your question is, if I'm not wrong,
Yes, correct.
right? Now, so on the left hand side of the Tableau pane, so I'll call it as a window, and this is connect pane, right? You will see there is Tableau server to a file. To a file means, it can be any static or dynamic file, correct? uh, to a server again. This is Tableau server to a server. To a server and Tableau server, there's a different thing. Okay. Tableau, remember Tableau Cloud or Tableau server is a dedicated host for Tableau thing itself. Okay. But here to a server means it can be anything. It can be Amazon, it can be Azure, it can be Google Sheet, it can be SharePoint, it can be anything. Okay. So when you click here, you will see plethora of another installed connectors. This is 73 connectors which are installed in my system. I can very well, if let's say additionally I do not have something, I can very well install that. Okay. Additional connectors are 32. Okay. So I can even go and install those. Let's say now you let's say let's take an example of Amazon, right? Since I had will have to create an Amazon account, I'll just talk about Amazon and give example of MySQL. Okay, because I have MySQL installed. Let's say Amazon, you will see from in Amazon itself, you have different connectors. You have Athena, you have SQL, EMR, Redshift, right? Uh, but then again, Azure, you have Data Lake, SQL database, Synapse Analytics, right? So dedicated host for dedicated services for cloud. Amazon Document DB by Amazon, right? Amazon S3 by Tableau. So S3 is a very popular service from Amazon. If you uh, remember in any of the meetings, if you're working in data or cloud services, you will hear this S3, S3, S3. This is a very predominant word in data nowadays. We have Google Cloud, Google SQL, Google Drive, Google BigQuery, right? Google Analytics. So these are the connectors installed. So let's say if I want to connect to Amazon Redshift, I will click on this and then I'll just show you. Since I do not have Amazon Red, so then it will ask you for server, database name, username, and just sign in, right? And once you make a connection between your Tableau, once you make a connection between your desktop and the data sitting in any type of software through connectors, then you will have a data flowing in Tableau desktop. Okay, let's give this an example. So as yesterday I was saying, we will not initially I mean we will practice in CSVs as well. We'll practice in Excel also, but we will focus more on servers, like right, like SQL Server and these things, because mostly in actual world you will not get CSVs. You will mostly get SQL Server, other databases kind, softwares. Okay, so since it is clear, I have Microsoft SQL Server here. I'll click on this, right, and I'll go to my this SQL Server, correct? When I connect here, right, it gives me server type I hope this is not overwhelming for others. So when you download SQL Server, right, you will get a blank screen and you will have to click on this connect object and you will select the server name. Okay. So this is my server name. I'll just control A, control C. Okay. And go to my Tableau and you see server name. I'll just paste server name here and Windows authentication itself. I do not need to enter any password or something, right? And I'll just sign in. Let's see what happens. The moment I sign in, I'll be taken into this connection. See, the connection is this one, right? This is my server, and now I am connected to this server or this data source. Okay, and the moment you hit sign in, you will get land into data source. This will change to data source. Now this is your source. Okay, so now you can say we are connected to this SQL server. Okay, we have established a connection in a nutshell. Okay, you can give a name, anything like uh, my first connection, my first connection, right? Now, as you know, when you go here, right, this is my server. So when to uh, fetch any data, all right, you select databases. You will select databases like inside that server, which database is my in where the data is sitting. Okay, correct. Oh, how what I'm saying is let's get this clarified. Okay, grouping. So you have a server, SQL server, right? Then you have, and please ask questions, make it more interactive so that few other things also will come. Because right now I'm only explaining things from my side, right? When you speak it will be like, okay, this is also this also I may explain, I may or may not explain that by myself, but when you ask, that will click, and then we can, explore that part also, right? So you have a SQL server, right? Consider it as a box. Now you have different databases, right? You can create n number of databases in a SQL SQL server, right? In a server. So databases, you have master, model, MSDB, tempdb. You can create any. Like let's say if I create new query, base Tableau, okay, executed, and now when I refresh this, let's it should come. Do I have it? Let me start. I'll just take Control C. I'll just paste it for my convenience because I do not want to write again and again. And I'll just close this. I don't want to save. SSMS, right? I'm touching slightly on SQL also. One second, databases. See, you have Tableau now, right? So you can create n number of databases, and once I have created a database, right? I'll go here. I'll you know see that you have master and model TempDB. I'll have to again establish a connection and refresh. But let's say Tableau does not has any data, right? So let's connect to master itself. So the point of saying, showing this is you will have to find out the database in to which we have to connect, where your data is sitting actually. So all these things will be mentioned or will be communicated by the team members. So let's say you are in a service-based company. The client will tell you that our data is sitting in so and so and so databases, because in a service the client might have different databases for different departments, let's say, right? um, Marketing will have another database, sales will have another database, operations will have the other database, and then supply chain analytics will have a different database, and so and so forth, right? Every department. So which one do you want to connect to? What is the uh, problem that or analysis that you want to perform, right? So that way you will connect, right? And then you will see that inside the master database we have different tables. Okay, these information also is provided. So if I may ask, you all are aware of the normal life cycle of the project? Can I get a
Yes.
yes? Okay. In a data scenario, right? In a normal life cycle, like how it flows, how things goes on, right? How the requirements are taken, these things, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I then I don't need to touch upon. I will this. Okay. So master database, and you have different tables, right? So you will understand like what tables I'm able to use now. If I click on this table, or let's say double click, right? You will see you are now connected to members data table inside master database, right?
So
Correct?
these are the tables are by default created, or you have created these tables?
No, 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 no. It's there by default. It's there in uh, consider
Master.
it consider it as like the department have created these tables. It's
Okay.
already there.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Got
I
it.
just created this thing, but there are no tables in this, right? There will be no tables because the database is created by me, and I haven't inserted any table on that. Correct. Now in the master table database, you have these tables, and let's say, okay, I see a sales table that will be very easy for it. You can do two things. You can double click on this, like double click on this, right? Or you can just drag here, right? So the moment you drag in here or double click on this, you will see that a pane will pop up like this, and it will say here sales here also. The connection is live, and you have two things. You will get two options: live, extract, and filters, right? And you will get a data, the type of data. You can see the rows, like what the data is, how the data looks. So you have customer ID, order date, and product ID, right? You can see how many rows you want to see, correct? 150, 15, 20, 30, 40, like that you will be able to see that. Okay. Here in this side, you can see that type is data type, right? We'll touch upon data type also. Uh, that is one of the very important in Tableau. But as of now, our motive is to understand uh, this interface. Okay. So as the data types are concerned, there are how about strings, int, date, float, right? These kind of data types, right? So whatever the field name is and whatever the data type it is associated with, right? In the SQL, you will create a statement. You will create a create statement for the table, and you embed the data type, right? What you assign data type to it while creating a SQL statement, create statement. So that data type is shown here. Like order date is a date. This calendar is basically means it's a date, right? Uh, product ID. This means hash means like it's a integer kind of thing. Okay. ABC is string. So now you have this, correct? And you get connections as live and extract and filters, right? So let's just go ahead and now you're connected to data source to a database. Now it says go to worksheet, right? So there are okay, let's just go to the sheet one, and now you are into visualization sheet. Okay, here you can plot diagrams, graphs. You can analyze your data. Okay, so let's say I did customer ID for order date. Okay, drag anywhere customer ID. I'm just you know uh, just just giving it in a wanted to show you. That's it, nothing else. Okay, say and sales count. Let's give it a sales count. Okay? Now you can plot anything anywhere, like let's say customer ID and product ID, and you can plot a bar graph. Okay, correct. Uh, you can give the labels also, like how many was sold, correct? So this is where you visualize. So you can create n number of sheets in Tableau. There is no foundation of creating sheets, right? And so far so good. Any questions?
No, clear.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so far it is understandable right now. So this is where you will understand, you will create, analyze, you will basically use this interface. Now going back to this, the will understand this one a bit more. Okay, we'll understand the Tableau architecture first of all. So you see here, this is sheet, this is new worksheet, which is also called as sheet. This is dashboard, and this is story. Okay, so Tableau has Tableau desktop, right? Tableau desktop. Mm. So this is Tableau desktop. Now what will happen is you have sheet, which is called as worksheet, worksheet, right? Once, uh, worksheet. How do I visualize it better? Okay, fine. So you have worksheet is the smallest entity. Okay, let me just keep it outside as of now. Okay, you have this one, desktop, you have workbook, my worksheet, dashboards. Okay, yeah. Then you have this. hmm Then you have worksheet. Let me just draw and just to simplify. Now this is okay. This is already there. This is tab desktop. This is workbook. Okay, okay. This is workbook. This is called as dashboard, right? And inside dashboard we have worksheets. Okay. So what I mean is this whole thing, right? This whole thing. You see, Tableau Book 3 is the whole container is called as Tableau Workbook. Is a workbook. Okay. So if I say book 3 is what? Is a workbook. Okay. For a reference. Now inside that workbook, you will have dashboards. Okay. Let me create one more, duplicate it. You will have dashboards. Okay. Now dashboards, uh, hide also. So dashboards will have multiple sheets or so dashboard is at a higher level. Okay. So the next come is your dashboard. Now inside dashboards, you may have one sheet or multiple sheets, correct? So then the next bucket is the worksheet bucket. I should draw this as like this. Come on. I want to select this one, not this. The drawback of escape. I want to draw like this once again. So this is the workbook, right? This is the dashboard, and let's squeeze it and keep it here, keep it here, and keep it here. So a dashboard will have multiple worksheet or a single worksheet. Okay. So this architecture has to be very, very, very clear and precisely thought together so that you are clear, right? So I hope it is clear to you all. What is dashboard? What is worksheet? And
Story is different.
yeah, story. I'll touch upon story is different. Story is different in a way that story is one second. How story is different is one single workbook will have only one story. So a story is basically a data. You will create um uh you'll create basically like this. You know single story as in the flow will be single story. You can create multiple story, but the flow will be single story. So let's say you have different dashboards, right? How what is story basically? So it's a way of, so data is, and data visualization is basically storytelling. Okay. So you have multiple dashboards, and then you take important just synthesize that into a main bullet point and drag that sheet over. Okay. Right. And then create a caption, add a caption, like what is the takeaway from that sheet. So let's say you have a map. So there are, I'm just saying, there are 30 states now, right? I'm not talking about the exact number. I'm just saying, let's say, no, there are X n number of states, out of which, let's say, you know, Bangalore is the highest GDP producer. That's also inaccurate data, but I'm just saying, okay. uh, Out of Bangalore, the next story will be the carry forward will be in Bangalore. These are the GDP sources. The highest GDP contributors is this one. Now, out of that, how it has evolved over the period of time, right? So you're getting my point. Like you're conveying a story, like how the GDP of Bangalore is. Uh, what all constitutes of the GDP of Bangalore, and what is their importance, right? So that creates a narrative and
Yes.
story that okay, this is what is available. And in dashboards and etc., you have done your deep analysis, but there are times wherein people like who just want you. Let's say you are in pitch, you're pitching your idea to a customer or to a uh, you know uh, VC or venture capitalist, right? They will not go to the entire dashboard and stuff. They will say that you have 5 minutes, explain it to me. So story kind of consider it as a pitch deck. You will not give them the entirety of the situation, but you will just give them the how and why in a gist. Okay, that is called as a story.
So in
Very. Mhm.
dashboard, like we have functionality, like we have filters and other dynamic things. So
Yes,
when we
yes.
pull it into a story, will we
Mhm.
have those functionalities or will it be a static one?
So let's see. I'll show you. I'll show you one second. The better way is to show, and always that. So let's do this. I will have including it. Let's say order data as filters. Uh, let's not do order dates because only I have only 1 year. That is, let's do customer and apply it to all. Do worksheets, apply using data sources and dashboard. I'm just doing it in a fast way. We will see all these things. Okay. Product filters, customer ID. Okay. Since this is applied to all, it will be like this, right? Now in a story, if I bring this dashboard, it will bring all the filters also. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. But if I do not bring the, let's say, where is that? If I bring this sheet, right? And I here in this sheet, I'll have to bring, you'll see in sheets you cannot. But okay, these things will go in later. But yes, then you can add caption as in like, product ID one, whatever the insight is, whatever the insight you think is of utmost importance. Put it here, correct? So that is the importance of story. Okay, and then it flows. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Akash, clear.
Delete it. I am deleting these. because this is the uh, one workbook which we'll use, so that I don't want any junk to be here. Okay, remove this, remove this. One second, let me cancel this. Okay, so far so good, right? So we got workbook and these things. Now let's go to data source. Why I'm spending more time in this is here is because we need to understand, the intricacies here. Okay, so you see connection type. This is connection type. So you understand. Let me show that diagram. Where is the right here? This diagram, right? Data connectors and these things. Now we are saying, okay, now that's very nice that you have connected to data, but what is the type of connection now? Okay, so the type of connection is two in Tableau, correct? There is a live connection and extract connection. This is one of the most widely asked question in Tableau. What is the difference between live and extract connection? Which we will get, which we will answer this today itself. Okay, just give me 10 seconds. Okay, just 10 seconds. Okay, yeah. So now connection, we have two types, live and extract. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, Akash.
Thank you. So you have two connections, live and extract. Now, if I have the diagram, then it's fine. Otherwise will draw that. That's not a problem. We have, but I think I'll have to have full refresh, incremental refresh, live. Okay, this is our examples. Okay, and let's try it, because then only you will get the feel of it. Okay. Now we have two things, right? Connections, whether it is live or extract. Now, just a wild guess. Can you take any guesses like what is live and what is extract? Anyone?
Live, I believe, like we are connected to that. We just connected to this database in SQL Server, so the connection is still hasn't
Mm-hmm.
been cut off. It's in live stage. Extract is something like
Okay.
I think we take a portion of the data and use that for the time being, while that data at the background gets updated at different frequencies.
Hmm. Uh, yes, extract. You're right to some extent. Can
Okay.
you come again for live? I happen to miss
Live,
that.
like we are already connected to this SQL Server database, so this is a live connection, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So whenever you connect to a database at first, right, it is always set to live. Okay. So live here uh is something like, have you heard about like streaming data like Kafka and these things, Synapse Analytics and these? So
Yes,
what?
heard.
Right. So live is basically whatever is happening, right, in the database in real time, and it's not very real time. It's near real time. Okay, there will be some lag, obviously, because that's the issue with the connectors. But there are things like synapse and these indicators are connectors. They will have very real time information. But let's say live connection, right? Live connection. Okay. Uh, Whenever you are connected first, it is always live. So what is the difference between live and extract? Okay, very important question. What is the difference between live and extract? So let's say live connection, right? You have your database sitting here. Control C, Control V. This is your Tableau desktop. TD. I'll type TD as this and DB. Okay. Now the type of connection is live. The type of connection is live. Okay. Uh, one second, let me just make it right. Okay. This is live, right? Now live means whatever changes you're doing here, it will be reflected in near real time in here also. Okay, that is live. Okay, and there, so there will be some minute lag also. Correct. There will be some minute lag. Now, saying that, can you give me an example of where? Okay, let me. Okay, yeah. Can you give me an example of where live is important? Where will you use live? What is the
Uh,
use case of
in
using? Yeah,
in banking domain, like we have a continuous transactions going on.
I mean that again depends upon use case. So continuous transaction going on, but what is the motive of that making a live connection? So let's say if I tell you that analyze, let's say some XYZ customer, his or her transaction pattern, okay, for today, okay, then the context will be different. I mean, you will use different type of connection. And if I tell you that analyze the transaction pattern of this customer, him or her, for the past 10 days, right? Then the type of connection will be different. Okay. So let me just first of all explain the extract part also. Live, you got it, I feel. Okay. Live is normal. Now, there is something called as extract. Okay. Now, extract is what Tableau creates a local copy. Okay. Tableau creates a local copy in its memory. Tableau, Tableau creates local copy in its memory, which is hyper engine. Okay. Tableau creates a local copy in its memory, which is called as hyper engine. Okay. And creates a local copy of the data, local copy of the um, data in its memory. Correct. So the DB from the DB, right? It takes the data, right, and it takes the data and it creates a local copy. It saves it in memory. Okay, right? Did you get this point? It creates a local copy and save the data in its memory. So,
So,
mhm,
Akash, like when you say saves into the memory,
mhm.
so is it a Tableau memory or system it gets saved into a
Tableau memory, basically Tableau memory, so that it can read. Okay, just it stores in the Tableau memory. Okay, it's
in
we will,
cache.
yeah, exactly. Will show how it is done, but just in a, at a higher level, what is the difference between live and extract? So live will create, there will be some lag, right? There will be some lag when the data source is huge. Okay, because see, if I tell you, uh, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I tell you that randomly, multiply 2555555 into 255555, right? And I tell you that you have to give the response quickly, that which is life, right? Then let's say you are a superhuman being, you will take some time, but you will give the answer, right? But in the extract, if I tell you, okay, 25555 into 255, and you have 2 minutes, right? Because it's already you have already processed in the brain, in your memory, and then you can give the answer. So that is extract, because you are already, your computational process is so heavy that you are processed that in the brain, and then you start multiplying. That will be easy for you. So how I give it an example is, let's say you go to a shopping and you are not earning as of now. Okay, you are in your teenage, and uh, you do not earn anything, so you want to go shopping, right? You want to purchase something. What will you do? You will basically go to your father or mother or your elders and ask for money, correct? So that is, then you ask money, then they will agree for it, correct? There is some kind of processing happening, correct? So that is a live connection, and that there is some delay. Let's say your parents say, no, I will not give you money, you are always wasting time, and this and that, those things, right? So that will take some time, and then again you will convince them, and that brings a delay in the system. That is a live connection that you establish. You are asking your parents money upfrontly, directly to the parents, right? Now in extract, what will happen? You are self and sufficient, meaning you earn decent, uh, and if you want to go to shopping, you do not want to, you know you already have that, you're not going in that loop of asking money and these things. So you already have that money, so you can directly go and pay, and come back with whatever you wanted to purchase. So that is an extract. It's already imbibed in your memory. Here you already have that money in your pocket. Okay, so the processing happens faster. But again, it depends upon use cases. See, in live, if it is very less data, let's say here, right now, this one is live, right? It will not have much effect itself, because the data itself is very, very, very normal. It's only 3 rows, 4 rows of data. So that will not have any effect, correct? But let's say in live itself, you have millions and billions of data. It will be very, 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 very troublesome. The processing will be very, very slow. Okay. But in that case, extract will work faster, because the data is already processed and it is kept in the Tableau memory, right? And then you are processing it, you are visualizing it, right? So any questions here so far?
Like you mentioned, we could have like billions of record in a heavy database.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we take an extract,
Mm-hmm.
it gets into the Tableau memory. So does
Mm-hmm.
it cause any issues in the processing when we are dealing with a heavy database, or it takes a portion of that data?
You can do anything in extract. So when you extract, right, you can edit it and you can take a portion of the data also based on date or based on customer ID. Let's say I do with order ID. I'll just take only one, let's say 2021. You have 10 years. Now I'll take only 2021. So you can take that also. You can take uh, whole data also. Okay. Extract also has many other intricacies. We'll touch upon that. But just now, as of now, we will just stick to ourselves and we'll focus on live and extract understanding of that. So what is a live and what is extract? And nothing is superior. Sometimes live will work very, very efficiently, and sometimes extract will work very, very efficiently. So the use cases of live working very, very efficiently is, let's say you want to analyze the daily movement of NSE, right? NSE, NYSE, any stock exchange, and you want to see like what is happening daily, right? So that is the use case of life. What will you do what will you do if you want to analyze live data? You have to connect to live. You cannot extract and see and check that what will happen next. Correct. For for intraday, let's say. Okay. Now if I tell you that analyze 15 years or 20 years of data, right? So which will be very huge. Correct. Which will be very huge. Now in that way you have to you will use extract because you are doing a past analysis, right? A descriptive past analysis, historical analysis basically. Live means you're doing real time analysis, so you need live connection. That is one use case. Correct. Any question here?
No, Akash, clear.
Okay. So live and extract is a medium to connect to the databases. Okay. Now, since you understood this, let's
Akash, you mentioned a term like hyper engine. What was that?
right. So Hyper Engine is a Tableau's new engine. So see, any processing of the data that happens through a robust computational efficient program, right? It has to be very computationally efficient. So that name is given as Hyper Engine. So Tableau works on the processing of the Tableau happens in the Hyper Engine. So it's basically you can say the Jarvis of Tableau.
Okay.
Okay. So what happens is basically when you click live, right? You can analyze here, but when you click on extract, right, and then hit sheet, it will ask you to save the this see td eta w database extract dot hyper. Okay. And it will give you, so this is what you were saying about the cache, right? This is
Okay.
storing in the cache, inside the data source, and it stores as dot hyper file. Okay, dot td or dot hyper file. So when I select this, okay, generally what will happen is it will take a lot of time to create an extract because you create extract for mostly, let's say historical analysis like 10 days, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, right? So it will take some time, but right now it created in a jiffy because the data is so small. Okay. So this is a way to create extract. Now, can you notice anything like when I go and change it to live? Can you notice to anything anywhere in into data site, data pane? So this is data pane. This is analytics pane, right? In the data pane, you are segregated into tables. You have this measure names, and this is measure values. Okay. Okay. So the thing is, what I wanted to tell you is when you connect it to live, you see this. How will this is also a question interview. They will ask you, will give you like this screenshot, and they'll tell you what is this connection, what type of connection I'm using. Okay. So when you see just normal tick mark on the database, right? This is called as live connection. Okay. But when I do extract and then go to sheet, you see that double database is showing, two databases showing, and you have an arrow. Is it visible?
Yes, Akash. Yes.
Yes, sir.
This one, right? And it means it is a extract. Okay. So this is also very important. Now, any questions so far?
So this live and extract scenario comes in when we are talking about database servers. Uh, is it relevant when we are working with the flat files also?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even in flat files also, even in flat files like CSVs and CXLs, that is relevant because let's say, see, what happens is, let's say again, live connection is in basically, um, I do not have much data. Let's say, like why you would want to create extract and keep it in my memory? That is again a burden for Tableau to keep in memory, right? So I'll create
True, true.
extract live itself. Extract like is again, extract has two things, but I'll tell you in a while. But you can since let's say it's a very huge file, okay, and it's a SharePoint, let's say, okay, or a live, a Google Drive or something like that. Let me just give you an example itself. Let me open new. Did I open or not? Where did I guess? Okay, connect to data. Let's connect to. Um, uh, if I have, so text file here is basically a CSV. So text file in Tableau is CSV uh, in our normal terminologies. Okay. When I click here, I will get this, but documents, Tableau repository. Do I have any CSV? Let me download any CSV. I just want to download it. You're taking me on this. So right, connect to text file downloads. Annual enterprise is one. Correct. Now this is annual enterprise. And what was your question again? Sorry, in the advent of signing in, I forgot the question.
So my question was like, it is like live and extract is more relevant to the when we are connecting with the server, but when working with a flat file.
Okay. No, no, no. It's with the flat files also. So as of now, let's say I go to worksheet. It's a live connection. Okay. And let's give the year. How many? Okay, it's 2021 to 2022, right? Let's see. We'll understand what discrete and continuous, why it changes to blue, why it was green and why it changed to blue. I think if you have noticed it, then we'll see that. Okay. Industry aggregations, N3 codes, and industry code. Okay. Okay, we have put variables and water. But again, this database is small. It will not have much effect. But let's say I am doing something in units. Here in the units. Dollars. This is not a good example. Okay, whatever it is. So when you go here, right, this is in a live connection itself. When you extract, right, see it will say it takes some time. It should, not sure because it's again a small database. It's a small database itself. It is relevant for flat files also, but I want to give you an example. One second, let me. This is superstore data. Okay. Hope it has. This is CSV itself. This is live. And remove this. Remove this. And not enterprise is what? Do you see delete? Oh, close. Text file. Open. Live. Oh, ah, sorry, I just took the same thing again. Expert multi-tool. Right. So set. I need a large file. Oh, so I mean to answer your question as of now is that you can use in flat files also. Uh, Live is like it's very small file, so live will be pretty fast. In extract, how much is it's a very small file, very small. Let me see if I have others. Close. This is sample superstore database. Right. This is live and live connection established, and you can do as many as like year what it is. Okay. To make it extract, it should take some. See, it started, and at least this database is too a bit heavy, and it takes some time, like to create extract, and then you're working on this. So the processing. So what I meant to say is when your file is light, you will not feel much difference between live and extract. But when you have a bit heavy file, and the use case is that you want to hit uh, you want to do some historical analysis, then extract will be best. If you want to do something very live analysis, then live connection will be best. Okay. So that's why, and you can do it in flat files, you can do it in the Google Drive and this. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you to you all is basically why my internet is not working here and here. I wanted to show it to you to connect to different other database like Google Drive. Okay, let's go to Google Drive. Here I'll explain the extract version, why how it is done. What is so in extract you have two things. Where is it? Extract is one is incremental refresh and the another one is full refresh. Just keep it in mind, it will take some time to digest. Okay, there is incremental refresh and there is full refresh. But before that, let's see how an extract is made. Okay, so I'm just connected to Google Drive and it is authenticating me, which is like allow. I allowed it, and then now I'm connected to Google Drive. Okay, did you get this? How did I connect this? Oh, one second. Google Drive. My Tableau crashed. Book three. Okay. Google Drive, right? Click on Google Drive. Select. Continue. Allow. Right. Now it is connecting to Google Drive. So we saw how we connected to text file, how we connected to Microsoft SQL Server, and now I'm showing it to you. Google Drive. We'll show Google Snowflake also in some time. Example. This is the file. This is Excel file. Okay, Excel file in Google Drive. Okay, double click on that. Click it. It will say processing request. Now it has three sheets, so I'll just show how it looks. One second. Okay, this is the that game plus delivery, right? So it has three sheets in it. Tracking log, sheet one, sheet two log. So sheet one, sheet two is made by me. Okay, tracking log and log. There are two sheets, but these two will also come as of now, right? Sheet one and sheet two log, the tracking log. Okay, so that is what it is showing. It says sheets. Okay, here. Now let's say I put tracking log here. Okay, you have what all columns? You have uh, it's not taking V1, V2, ship date, and these things, right? Ideally, the column names are ship date, purchase key, country, state, these things, but it's taking V1 and then A, B, C, D, something like that. It's taking like F1, F2, F3, and like that, right? So remember, I was saying that we have very limited capabilities in Tableau to clean the data yesterday. So by looking at the data, it seems to me that we need to clean it because by top five sales, by five by sales, or in any what it is written, any measure you want to keep, right? So these thing is redundant for me, right? Which is where all nulls are coming everywhere. Like nulls will come for this. Wherever the blank on top is there, all will be null, right? So I need to do some processing from mine. To do that, you can just there is a option here, use data interpreter. So data interpreter is basically it will clean try to clean the data as per its level, right? So Tableau senses the anomalies and it removes it. So when you click on use interpreter, right, you'll see it's executing and it's going scanning the whole table or the data, and then it will remove the redundant thing, and you see now you have all the columns, right? Ship date, this thing here, and etc. Sales null, but you see ship date null, purchase date null, purchase key null. These things are coming, right? So you can edit this also, but before that, let's go and see this, right? So this is live, and when I go to sheet, right, I want to show. Do you see date, date, ship date? Let's just ship date, right? Ship date is 2024, right? Now, if I go to this data and go to end, right? Add one more row, and let's give it as what is the date today? 21, and it's 2101 2025. Let's give 2025, and this, let's say some any 10,000 Canada game, okay, and rest let it be like that itself. Okay, now it's safe to drive. I mean, whatever I've entered, it's saved now. Now, if I go here, right, I do not see 2025 year, right? I saw only 2024. I see only 2024 here as of now. But I have changed the data, right? I have added a new row. Now, what I will do is I'll go here, I'll refresh. Okay, okay, or nothing is happening. So I'll go here again. I'll come, or I will just ship date null, right? Refresh. Analysis. One second. It should come. Ship date null.
Did you save
Right.
the Excel file?
No, this is on Drive itself, right? It will be saved by itself,
Okay.
right? Because it says update up to dated. Oh, no, no, no. You are right in a way that this is not the file that I'm editing. I am editing the different file. I'll have to open this and then edit. This is the same file, but it is in somewhere else. I'll have to edit it here. The location is different. So if you see, right? Oh, okay. One second. No, no, no. Second, it is edited. But I think what is the second column? Purchase date. Purchase date. And I'm taking ship date. That's why I only updated in purchase date. So ship date, you remove it. Let's see. Oh, yes, refresh. Ship date. Ship date. Okay, let me copy the same thing here also, and it is saved. Okay, now it is saved. Now see here. So this is live connection. That in real time, it will be in real time. We made some mistake. That's why I mean I made some mistake, not we. So again something. Let's keep it as 26, 26, and copy paste here. Okay. Uh, refresh. Let's save. Yeah. Okay. That's the perk of working with files. It flops you every time. It works best with databases. Works with that, but it is more into why it is not coming. Let me refresh this. Let me refresh it again. Okay. Right? So this is live right now. Basically, when I do extract, correct? So I edit this, and you see here you have incremental refresh and you have full refresh. Okay. So when you select all rows, it is all. So what happens is, so let's see, the first time the extract will be created and it will have all these data embedded in its hyper engine, right? Tableau has all these data processed into the hyper engine, but and keep it in the hyper engine. Okay, so all rows. So let's say next day you're opening the Tableau workbook, then again it is refreshing everything again and again. Okay, so the processing time will be more, correct? When we say all rows should be refreshed, so it the Tableau will go row by row everywhere, and it will then it will say, okay, now all rows are checked and refreshed, and then give you the result. So there, let's say suppose you have billions of records in SQL Server or anywhere, then that way you will have more processing time. Correct? Agree with me?
Yes.
Now, now since that is there, so then there is a use case for that also where we have to use all full refresh. But there is another thing that is called as incremental refresh. Okay, incremental refresh is something wherein it will, at first it will take extract of all the data, right? And let's say if there is a new entry, let's say we are creating, uh, if there is a new entry or is a new row entry, then it will only add that row. Okay, let me tell you like this. Let me tell you like this. In a uh, full refresh. Okay, you have some data. Let's say X, Y, variable, something like that. Okay, so what? And you have extract. So this is initial extract. So what will happen? It will make a copy in its hyper engine. Okay. Now next time, if it is a full refresh, no, this is data. This is full refresh. Okay. What it will do is it will check. Okay, X is there. It will just copy directly to here, right? Every row by row, it will say, okay, this is it. It will process everything. It will process everything. Okay, it will process everything, right? But in incremental refresh, if let's say in the data we have new addition, okay, so what will happen is it will see that okay, these data are already there. Directly it will say okay, these data are already there because it will match this and this and this and this and this is matched. Now only these two are new entry, so it will just copy these two new entries. That's it. So only two rows are added. It will not go one by one with everything. So it says whatever we have and check if we have anything new. Okay. Let's say we had 1000 rows, and now Tableau says there is internal engine says there is 1002 rows. So engine says that there are two in new rows added. Okay, and the engine will add only those two rows. Okay, so that's why full refresh is not efficient. It's inefficient. But at times, in depending on the use case, you will have to do it. But it is inefficient at large data sets. Okay, this is efficient. Okay, when used with large data sets, because the processing time will be very less. Okay, now did you get this?
Uh, a question on incremental refresh,
Mm-hmm.
Akash. So we are working with the extract file here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's suppose we had 1000 rows
Mm-hmm.
in the Excel file. We took
Mm-hmm.
a extract of that,
Mm-hmm.
and so now in the extract we have 1000 rows. But
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile, 10 rows got added to Excel file.
Okay.
So we do a incremental refresh. So
Mm-hmm.
when we do incremental refresh, will the hyper file compare with the Excel file uh, at that Google Drive for those 1000 rows also? Will it do a comparison?
No, see what happens is, so you do incremental refresh on based on some column, okay, based on one field. So what will it do? Let's say you have a date field here, okay. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say you have a date field here. Let's say this is date itself, okay. Okay. Now what it will do is max date. It will take max date, right?
Okay.
max date in this extract, and max date in the file, in the main file. Okay, so there will be difference, correct?
Correct.
So let's say here max date is 10th January only, and here in this file, in this date here, the max date is 15th. So we have 5 days gap. So it will take only from 10th Jan. Right after 10th Jan, it will compare, and if it is not there, it will take the data and copy paste there in uh, the extract.
Okay. So already existing data like earlier 1,000 rows won't be compared and won't
Won't
be
be
updated.
compared. Yes, that's why incremental is is efficient. If it does the same thing, then it becomes full refresh itself. Then there is no point in giving different nomenclature altogether.
No, I'm thinking of a scenario like in those 1,000 rows, some field got
Mhm.
updated. So how
Right,
will?
right. So that is the case of full refresh.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to, I don't want didn't wanted to tell you now because since it's very initial, but I think you have worked in these kind of scenario. That's why it came to your mind. But generally, it doesn't come in first or second class itself. So that there is another case also, like it checks with the original data xxxv. Let's say based on some date, this F transaction got changed to some Z, right? Then it will take that transaction, it will set it aside. So the engine got one transaction, and then rest nothing changed, and then after that it got changed. So only changed one will be edited and updated,
Okay.
right? That also happens. That also is there, is available. So any questions so far? I mean, it's very it's not complex, but it's very very important. Live and extract is important. Anybody? Anything? See, table to refresh is tracking log. Identify new rows using columns. See, this simple sentence says it all. Identify new rows using what column? So you can put anything like purchase date or something like that. Whatever you want to keep, ship date or purchase date, and then create OK, and then select sheet, then do this, yes, replace, even give a name, and then it will make an extract, which will be a incremental. Now, since again 2026, right? Let's say if I add 10 rows, 10 rows of what? Of I want to increase. I want to 027, 027, just like that. Okay, I am increasing it, something like that. How many rows changed? Okay, so 1 second. Let me have all these and increase it to this two more. There. Okay. Now I will go to this. I click, see, use extract, refresh incremental. Okay. So it will start executing. Why- Where it is purchase date or ship date. What was it? I think I'll have to enter in a format, I suppose. right click, or you can go data, data, refresh all, extract, or game delivery, right? Extract, incremental. What's happening? Purchase date, ship date, whatever it is, here, it should come. Why it's not coming? Wait, I have this. It's a task again, then. It will show. I think it's common with Google Drive. Why it's not happening? Let me see what extract I have done. Extract, edit, ship date. Man, okay. It's here now. 27, right? So since the data set is very small, we are not seeing any effect. But there was this scenario wherein I worked. The rows were around almost 992 million or something like that. Therein, wherein I had to use this extract itself, I mean, incremental refresh, and the I mean, it was very optimized. The processing time was very less, right? Because generally in a day we used to get around uh, like almost around 2 to 3 lakhs rows, so it was very easy. And think about making it a full refresh for 995 million data. It- Tableau will cry and die. Okay, so uh, so the agenda for today, tomorrow will be uh, revise it all, and tomorrow we'll start with a quiz. Like the way I keep it, we'll start the key quiz like this, right? And then we'll build on top of it. The why I could have started like this, what is data types and this and that, but it will bore you. It will bore you definitely, and it will to keep that enthusiasm intact. Uh, this is very important concept, widely asked anywhere. Just type it in on Google, like top 50 important questions in Tableau. You will find this under in top 10. In top 10, you will find it. Okay.
Akash,
Mhm.
how can we see the location of the file that we are connected with?
Location of the file that you are connected with. Uh,
Yes.
Here it is the connections, right?
Okay, it is showing Google Drive. Okay.
Right.
And the CSV name, game
It's
delivery.
Yeah, it's in this, right? Tracking log game delivery and tracking log table we are using. That sheet we are using.
Okay.
Right.
So at a time, we are pulling only one sheet.
Yes, yes. Right now we are really pulling one sheet, but we can pull another
Okay.
and set a relationship. Um, Relationships are like, joins. Relationship, there is in Tableau we have relationship, we have join, we have blend, we have union. Uh, so different functionality. A relationship is the default that it plays it connects to. So when you drag log, this how do we relationship different from join, you can learn from here. But it says like when you do SQL, right, the join condition is there, right? On condition, it's like that itself. It's like that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So
Can,
tomorrow we'll
can you
start.
share that Excel file that where you were
Yes.
comparing Power BI and Tableau?
Yes, definitely. I suppose this is the one.
Yes, yes. And like in Power BI, and there's a window where we do the data modeling. So
Correct.
is that done in Tableau also?
See, there is very limited source that you can do. See, like this one, right? How do uh, you can change the name, you can change the data type and these things, right? But the entity relationship diagram that you do it in the model view of Power BI, right? Is
Yes, yes.
entirely very very different. It has a more capability, but to
O-
do that we have Tableau Prep. That's
Okay.
another tool in Tableau universe. Yeah.
So how is it done in companies internally when people are working on Tableau project?
So basically, I think explained this yesterday. One second, I'll see the diagram. Data layer and these things, remember? So, ah, this one. See, Tableau inverse Salesforce, right? Tableau Desktop, Tableau Prep, and this. So what happens is if you have different data sources in companies, you have data sources from different. I mean, data from coming from different sources. It can be MySQL, Teradata, Hadoop, whatever it is, right? So you can change the shape of it. You can rename it. You can split the columns. Like see here, right? Uh, Country, state, city, and these things. You can make four columns out of it. In just like when we do split, right? Just click on split, and if you go at the end, you see country. This is city. Uh, Sorry, this is state. This is city, and this is pin code. Right? So
I
you
understand this
uh-huh,
transformation side. We can do it in
uh-huh,
prep. My question was around I've seen like models creation where we do entity relationship. So that is not
uh-huh.
available in Tableau.
That is entity relationship is not in Tableau. It's
Okay.
but
So
you
people will
uh-huh.
do it in SAS or Teradata and bring the data into Tableau.
Right. Ultrix and these things.
Okay.
You can create pipelines in Tableau Prep, a data pipeline, ETL pipeline, basically.
Okay. That would
Okay.
again be like transformation and filters.
Correct.
Okay.
But whatever you're saying is that ER diagram kind of
Hmm.
tool, which it's not there. It's not there like
Okay.
right. That's why, as said, yesterday also like the few of the capabilities that Power BI has is that huge data modeling capability, very limited capability. That's where
Okay.
Power BI is mostly uh, has some edge over Tableau.
Okay.
Only in that, but most of the things, if you see the integration capability, visualization capability, and the ETL capability kind of things, it's way too much in Tableau, but not that much in Power BI.
Okay. Because what I've read is the better your data model is, the
Mhm.
optimized would be your visuals and the
Correct,
performance will
correct,
be good.
correct. Exactly.
So if you're not able to optimize the model here in Tableau,
Mhm.
will our performance and the optimization be and performance will be good.
No, but you can optimize in this, right? You can optimize very well in Tableau Prep. So what you can do is, see, there are things that if you can provide only single data source
Mm-hmm.
to Tableau, it will be much faster. So instead of doing joins, relationship, um, blending, union in Tableau, you can very well union here itself. See, new in union, or you can write a custom SQL also here. Okay, you can write a custom SQL also. When you go and connect to, let's say, SQL Server, okay, sign in, you take any master, okay. See, you can write new custom SQL also. So instead of writing everything here, what you do is you make a ETL flow in Tableau Prep itself, and
Okay.
you feed only single source here. So that way it will be optimized. It will be fast enough, because all the processing is handled by Tableau Prep itself, and you can automate the flow,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So that way, even Power BI does not have the capability.
Okay.
uh, as I have shown, Tableau Prep combined data, it's basically, it's not a ER thing, but you can build a, see, instead of, if Tableau Prep, let's take a scenario where if Tableau Prep was not there, right? All these things you would have to do in Tableau itself. That will again increase a processing time.
True.
You
True.
see,
Yeah.
you're changing, you're adding some columns, you are renaming it, you are splitting it, you're again unioning all the orders from all the regions, then you're left joining it with returns, then splitting the customer, then you have the main and what do you say, one data source, and then again another data source after this with quota. Okay, so in this way you will have, either you will use this, or either you'll use this. So this is all orders, and annual something is the written over here. So all orders data, only one data will be fed into Tableau. So you can utilize those things easily here in Tableau workspace,
Sure, Akash. Got it.
right? I mean, good, very, very good questions. That's very nice. Okay, let's give it a break now, and we'll break today. We'll see you all next week. And the ask will be, explore the Tableau environment, go through the recordings, and uh, try to explore public as well, Tableau public and Tableau desktop and Tableau prep also. Read more about it, and then we'll start our next week class from a quiz, and then we'll build on top of it. Okay,
Okay. Sure.
and I'll share this Excel with you all. You can take it from here, okay, in Zoom. Okay, you can take everybody. You can take it from here. Okay, I can share this also, but this is
You'll have to
very
give access to this Excel file.
right, correct. So you can give me your email IDs, and I can give uh, anyone with this link. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. I hope you all have got it now. Got it right?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay
got
then.
it now. Yeah,
Yeah, okay then. We'll break from here. Okay.
sure. Thanks, Akash.
You,
Thank you.
thank
Thanks,
you. Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.